right now too. Maybe not everything is the way they, I won't, I mean, because that's just
yeah, who else? Huh?
How you doing?
Hi.
Hi.
How are you? I'm Jackie. I think we met.
We may have. I'm counsel. Yeah.
So, we're gonna go up and
yeah, he said he was on his way, so.
how about,
How you doing today?
where is the mayor? Oh, he is? Is he in stuff here with you guys?
That's one.
He's sitting here, right? Is he gonna sit here? Because I'll put his name in there.
Hey,
Makes sense. Makes sense. There you go. You're welcome. Hey, there he is.
How you doing? Good to see you. Like that.
I thought you just came out of the restroom. I have one friend that's like this thing, but yeah, I do. You're welcome.
I'm actually
Fine. You're just good up here.
he saw the first lady and he turned and ran. I don't know what that's about.
What you got?
Basically, it's a letter for the Congressman wrote to the judge, regarding the
How you doing, Mr. Mayor?
Good, how you doing?
also progress mine for the letter from USW.
You bet. You want me to open it up? Great, okay, we can do that. Well, it's great to be with y'all this morning. I'll make a few opening comments to get us kicked off here, and then we'll get started. I want to make sure that you know who all's here this morning. We have members of my staff. Jackie Stewart is my district director. Many of you know her, having worked with her. We also have, just so you're informed, we have a paid member of Congressman Charlie Wilson's staff here that's filming everything that we say and everything that we talk about today. So this is supposed to be an official meeting, but I'm sure there will be those who will try to turn it into a political statement as well. So just so that you're aware of what's going on. We're here to talk about RG Steel. Let me give you a little bit of a background, and I'm glad that the folks from the United Steelworkers are here, because I have been, we've reached out several times to try and sit down and have a conversation, and I hope we can continue that dialogue. I got involved with RG Steel way before this latest round of frustrating events took place. I called RG Steel when they bought the facilities from Severstal, and I talked to their senior executives, tried to encourage them that they should open up the Mingo Junction plant first. I said, you've got a workforce there that's ready to go to work. You've got a plant that is state-of-the-art. You've got a supply chain that's right across the river. I said it would cost you almost nothing to have this thing in operation real quick. They heard me, said thank you, said they would consider it, and then we know what they did. It's in the history. They started their plant at their headquarters in Maryland first, put a lot of money in, and now we are where we are. They went bankrupt. As soon as I found out about that issue and that the bankruptcy, or that it was going to go into auction, I took two actions. One was to contact the bankruptcy judge to try and work some kind of deal where we could give the business community time to try and find a buyer for some of these facilities to save the jobs that are here. The judge was very polite. I followed it up with a letter that I've handed out to you this morning, and you can see what I wrote to the judge. The judge explained, he said, Congressman, the truth of the matter is I don't have a stake in the outcome. He said, I simply have to make sure the process is following the law. And I have to look after if the creditors agree and the owners agree, he said, and it meets the parameters of the law, he said, it will be what it will be. He said, but I will take your concerns into consideration. But I also called Jobs Ohio. I called the governor's office and got in touch with them, and they engaged to begin working with some people in New York to buy, to participate in the auction and to try and buy the facilities, rather than letting the scrap company that ultimately got a lot of the property purchase the facilities. So I did everything that I could within my jurisdiction to try and see that a different outcome came. I think we're going to see an announcement this afternoon down in Yorkville about restarting that steel plant. Let me tell you that I know it's been frustrating, not just over this issue, but over many years of watching the decimation of the steel industry. Federal regulations out of Washington, a tax burden that makes it a business unfriendly place for large-scale manufacturing in America, has pushed many jobs overseas. I don't believe that there's a company that wakes up in the morning and says, you know, I think I'll take our operation to China today and kill these jobs here in America. I don't think there's a company that wants to do that. I think they would rather do business here. But it's the regulatory burden and the tax burden coming out of Washington, D.C. that makes it very, very difficult for manufacturing companies and steel companies to start up and then to sustain and to operate and earn a profit. I think we're going to see that change for several reasons. One, the oil and gas industry demands a lot of steel. You've got B&M Star up in the Youngstown area, and a lot of steel workers have gone up there to go to work. Plumbers and pipe fitters are driving all the way from Marietta to Youngstown to work on that facility and in that facility. There's a lot of steel involved in going after this natural resource called oil and gas. And I also believe that manufacturing is going to come back. That's going to place a demand on more steel as well. And that is because as manufacturing companies realize that they can park their manufacturing facilities on a near limitless supply of energy in the Marcellus and the Utica Shale, they're going to come back.